Hey everybody, welcome back to Mixing Music Analog and mixingmusicanalog.com, and here on our YouTube channel. And look who's sitting beside me once again. So you think he doesn't leave here. He actually just sleeps in the studio under the console, but no, he actually drives up from New York every couple of weeks. And we do these videos together just for you. So this time we're going to do something extremely cool that I don't think anyone's done yet on YouTube. At least we have never seen one. So what we're going to do in this video is we are going to compare the sound of two separate hardware units of the DBX 160A compressor. We're going to compare a completely stock unit that Dave purchased on Reverb for himself. And we're going to compare that to mine that I just purchased on Reverb, but I purchased mine from Revive Audio, who does hot rod and modifications to not only the DBX 160, but they also do other units as well. We're going to compare and see what's the sound difference between one that was modified where they swapped out a lot of the components, and we'll get into that detail in a few seconds here, compared to one if you just bought one used on Reverb or eBay, a stock unit. Is there any difference in sound? And if there is, what are the differences? We have no idea. We have not compared these off camera. We actually want to give you our initial reaction, so we have no idea if one is going to sound better than the other. Are they going to sound exactly the same? We have no clue. This is not a sponsored video by Revive Audio. I bought the compressor with my own money. Dave bought his with his own money. They don't even know we're doing this, but we will leave a link in the description box below for Revive Audio's Reverb store. So if you're interested in checking out what they do, you can go to their store, and they do DBX 160s, they do ART compressors, they hot rod interfaces. This is what they do. They take a really affordable priced equipment and they hot rod them and increase them, increase the componentry and to make them sound different. So we're going to see. So that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to listen to this on some kick drum, on bass guitar, and acoustic guitar for this particular example. So before we get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Also, if this channel helps you in any way and you're getting something out of all this hard work that Dave and I do here, make sure you hit the thanks button right below the video. That really does help us to continue to do these videos for you, and for Dave to drive all the way to hell up here from New York every 2 weeks when gas is $5 a gallon, $5 a gallon.
Yeah, you don't take that trip lightly.
Right, so make sure you do that, and then make sure you leave comments below. Let us know what you think of this test, and let us know if you hear any differences whatsoever. So that's what we're going to do. So now we have a printout here from the actual Reverb listing of what was changed or upgraded by Revive Audio in my particular unit. So Dave, what in the world did they do to this unit? Now let me also say, Dave's unit that he bought stock off Reverb was what, about 350 bucks?
Yeah, I paid 350 for mine.
So you can get one in really good condition that looks just about new, and you'll see them come up on the screen in a few seconds here. Both units look pretty much brand new. I mean, they're used, but they look new.
They're in great shape.
They're in great shape. He paid about 350. I paid 600 for mine. So there's about a $250, if that math is right, is what I paid additional to have all these upgrades. What did they upgrade in this Revive Audio unit, Dave?
Well, their basic upgrade service is they do some kind of, and a lot of stuff they do, they don't tell. They do a modification to the power supply. They put a Burr Brown input and output stage in it. They clean the unit up. They do things that they don't tell you. Then there are optional service on top of that. The most basic one is where they change out the VCA unit from whatever comes stock in there to that VCA. That's a $35 option. And then yours also has the Cinemag output transformer modification. To have that done on your own unit, that's a $100 option. So
if you go out to their website, you can have different levels of upgrades. So you can go check all the pricing. But in this particular unit, they did what? The Cinemag transformer upgrade, the VCA upgrade, and did they do something else to the output stage?
Yeah, that's the standard upgrade for them, is the output stage. They do something in the output stage. They increase the headroom. They do something to the soft knee, to the over easy setting, where they actually make it even softer. Or as what they're claiming that they do, and like that, they clean the unit up, they clean all the pots and switches and everything, so that what you're getting is a unit that's in as good shape as you can possibly make it.
So it's like in new condition, they clean it up, they dress it up, they change out some of the components, and that's what we have. So again, I'll put that in the description box. I'll actually copy and paste that so you can see exactly what they did to this particular unit. But like I said, if you go on their Reverb store, they have these come up every so often and you can see it. Or you can go out to Revive Audio, I guess .com, I don't know. I'll put everything in the description box for you. Again, not a sponsored video in any way, shape, or form. So what we have set up here in Studio One, just so you guys can see, we have 3 sets of tracks. We have, in brown here are 2 kick drum tracks, kick 1 and kick 2, and you'll see in the notes that the first one is gonna be the Revive modification unit, unit number 1 in the rack, and then kick number 2 is gonna be Dave's stock unit. And then we did the same thing on bass and the same thing on acoustic guitar. So we're gonna start off with a kick drum. All the EQs are flat. There's no compression on the console. There's no SSL fusion. There's no high pass filters. There's nothing. This is just the audio coming out of the DAW straight through the SSL onto 2 separate tracks with this stuff inserted. And we're just gonna go back and forth. So now, how do we start off? How do we have these things set up, Dave, for the kick drums? How do we kind of have the DBXs set up right now?
Just for the sake of being able to hear them, I have them set to 4-to-1 compression. The thresholds are at 0, but we're hitting them pretty hard. So you'll see on there that we're hitting about halfway up the LED stack for the compression. So we're hitting it hard. And then we have the output boosted to output match it. So they're set up exactly the same on both units. So, you know, rather than try to like level match the 2, I just set them exactly the same to see where they're at as far as what the modifications are doing to the one as compared to the other.
Okay, so we'll see what it's hitting for compression. It's probably getting quite a bit of compression.
Yeah,
we can always tweak that and lower the compression just so we can hear some of the differences. So your job in the video for people watching at home is to keep your eye on the solo button here. So again, kick number 1 is the mod. Kick number 2 is the stock unit. So let's start with the mod. Let's listen to the kick drum. Let's see what we have, and we will just switch back and forth, and then we're gonna give you our reaction because we have no clue what this is gonna sound like. Other than I'm sure it's gonna sound great, but how great, who knows? Here we go. Here's kick number 1. Here is the Revive Audio modification unit. So what do you hear? I don't know how much compression we're actually hitting. I wasn't looking at the meters.
They're pretty close. I was checking them. They're pretty close.
How much compression you think we're getting about?
About halfway up the stack. I'm not sure exactly how they have that broken down, but it was a lot. You know,
quite a bit. Okay.
We're hitting it pretty hard.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can see it on the meters there on the video.
What am I hearing?
Yeah, what do you hear?
They're really similar. More similar than I expected. My stock unit, I think, has a little more low end to it. The Revive mod is a little bit higher up, you know, like a little more mid push, just a little. As far as like the overall vibe coming out of both of them, they're very similar.
And so as the over easy set, it's set to what?
The over easy is out. I don't have the over easy on, so this is hard knee.
So this is their hard knee, whatever that is.
This is hard knee.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is the stock unit seems to have a little bit more of a point. It's got a little bit more transient. I feel like the modded unit is compressing a little bit more.
Okay, run it again.
We'll run it again. You guys let us know below what you hear. Again, make sure you're listening to this on a good set of headphones or a good set of studio monitors, especially kick drums because of the low end. If you're listening to this on an iPhone, good luck trying to see if you can hear the difference. But I will say, my first impression, like Dave said, it's similar.
Yeah.
I don't hear like a massive difference. I hear like it's similar, but it's, so anyway.
Let me see if I can make sure I got compression matched on them.
Okay, Dave will check that, and we're gonna start off again with the modded unit, and then we're gonna move to the unmodded unit. Keep your eye on the solo button. So I'm still sticking with what I said before. I think your stock unit has more of a transient. It feels like the transients hit a little bit faster, maybe, even though everything I guess is said exactly the same. It feels like the attack might be a little bit faster on the modded unit.
Different VCA unit.
Yeah, so it may be rounding off that transient just a little bit. What are you hearing?
Again, I'm hearing it basically the same as you are. The Revive mod, again, doesn't have quite as much low end to it. It's definitely, the transient is definitely a softer, it's more, it's a softer kick. Yep. Whereas the stock unit feels to me like there's more bottom end to it, and there's more of a transient, more of a kick, more of a hit to it.
Okay, so now let's just, all we want to do now is just hit the over easy. Okay. Let's just hit the over easy and let's see. Then that was the hard knee, okay? So we're gonna hit the over easy, which is gonna make it a softer knee. Now, in this particular modded unit, they say they changed something out, I don't know what the hell the component is, to make the over easy even softer than the stock unit. So let's see if we hear any difference.
Now that the over easy is enabled, you will start seeing a yellow LED in between the green and the red. There's going to be a yellow LED now that's going to be activated for the over easy. So what it's doing is, as it hits the over easy, that lights up, and then when it goes to full compression, it goes red. So there's like an extra compression stage going on there now with the over easy enabled. So watch that on the LEDs as well. If I'm over compressing, it's not going to be doing very much in the over easy.
Okay, great. Okay, so again, keep your eye on the solo button. We're going to start off with the Revive audio unit, and then we'll bounce back and forth. Here we go.
Same thing. The over easy isn't doing a whole lot to it. I think if the next round, I'm going to turn the compression down on both of them so that it spends more time in the yellow. Again, it's the same thing. I mean, you're definitely a softer kick on both of them now. The transient's definitely getting, rounded over even more. But again, the tonal balance is the same. They're slightly different tonally. But I'm not hearing a huge difference between the two of them.
Yeah, no, me neither. I think they seem, when we were talking on the hard knee, if you will, I thought the difference in sound between the transients were a little bit more. This seems like they're even a little more similar. Yeah. They're both softer, but I still feel like the stock unit is a little bit deeper, and it has a little bit more point. Yeah.
Let's roll them both. I'm going to turn the compression down on both of them so it spends a little more time in soft knee.
Okay, so now maybe only do it, so we're only hitting a 2 or 3 dB, because I know you're hitting a lot of compression over there.
No, we're hitting it hard.
Yeah, so on a kick drum, we're probably not going to compress that heavily, typically. So yeah, we just want to maybe just 3 dB.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it all set?
Yeah, hit it, bring it up. I'm going to be adjusting it for a second.
Okay, here we go. So again, keep your eye on the solo button, everybody. We're going to start off with the Revive audio, and then we'll move it around. Yeah, pretty much. I actually feel like the modded one feels like it's a little deeper to me now.
Yeah, well, it's not. It's actually not getting out of the yellow now. It's actually not getting into full compression at that setting. Right. So you're not getting the full compression, the full hit of the VCA on these now. So yeah, I think the mod one and the stock one are now actually closer tonally than they were before. I'm going to turn it up just a touch.
Okay. Okay, make your adjustment there again, and then we'll...
All right, I'm going to turn it up just a touch.
So let us know in the comments below what you think. Let us know. Is this Revive audio unit worth $250 extra so far? What do you think? I don't know. I'm going to play back. We'll start off with the Revive audio and then we'll switch over. So what I hear now is I hear the modded one seems like it's a little bit more three-dimensional. It seems like I could feel like it's a little bit more this than this. Yeah. Stock unit feels a little more linear to me now. I mean, we're talking about
very, very incremental differences between the two of them.
But that's, I mean, again, we're just trying to give everybody at home here, well, what are we really hearing in the room? That's kind of what we're hearing. Yeah. It is not like, whoa, what a difference. No. But it's definitely, I feel like the modded one in this particular setting, it feels like it's a little more 3D to me. And it feels like it's a little bit thicker. I mean, just a little though. Yeah. What do you hear? That's
I'm hearing a lot less difference than you are between them. To me, well, also I'm not sitting sweet spot right now either, but to me, at this setting, they're almost exactly the same. You know, as far as like what I'm hearing, they're almost the same. You know, again, like when we were hitting it harder and on hard knee, the differences were a lot more there. You know, as far as like the differences between them, but I'm still, you know, both of them sound really good on a kick.
Oh yeah.
Period. I mean, they both sound really good on a kick. And what I was thinking, listening to it the first time on the hard knee setting, was the first thing that came to my head was, because I have this one and I have the 560A, the 500 rack unit.
Yeah, which I know we're going to do a video on that too, because there is a he thinks there's a considerable difference in sound.
I personally, when I was listening to the difference of them, and it's the same as the differences in these, it's almost like when you're looking at 1176, the difference from an A to a D. The stock one is the D, the mod one, and the 560A is the A. The stock unit to me just feels like it has more low end to it, like more body to it. And the 560A and the Revive mod both feel like they're, you know, like a little bit higher in the speaker and a little bit pokier. Okay, that's the way I'm hearing.
Yeah. So we'll do one more pass. We're going to leave is there any other settings we need to do or not really?
No, I think we're pretty much where we need to be. I'm going to kick it back up to that. I'm going to kick it back up to hard knee.
No, don't do that. Well, but don't. Oh, yeah, just do the over easy. Don't touch anything else.
Yeah, I just took the over easy back out.
Okay, so now we're just going to play one more pass, and then we're going to end this section, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do bass. So here we go. We'll start with the Revive audio, and then we'll move through. Whoops, sorry, wrong button. Here we go. Keep your eye on the solo button. I can tell you, I heard it without even any compression. That's actually a good test, Dave. Yeah. Because I actually heard there's a difference there. Without even just running the signal through it, the modded one sounds more full, more compact.
Yeah,
to me.
without any compression going on, they swap places.
Right? So I can absolutely hear a difference between those two units now. Yeah.
All right, hit it for a
here
second.
we go. Okay, here we go. That was good. I'm glad. That was kind of a nice happy accident, as we call it, because now we can, that gives you guys an opportunity to hear what does it sound like just running signal through it without even compressing anything. That was a good test, Dave. Good test. Okay, here we go. There you go.
That's interesting because when they were not compressing,
Yep.
the Revive had a lot more body to it, a lot more depth to it. As soon as you started compressing with it, it all went away.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
How much compression are you hitting on this?
That was about four LEDs lit up. So we're not smashing it.
Not smashed to death. So there you go. So there's the kick drum for the two modded unit versus the non-modded unit. Which one do you like? Let us know below, or maybe you can save your comments until you hear all of them. So now with the magic of TV, we're gonna take a pause here. We're gonna reset up and we're gonna come back and we're gonna do this on the bass. Okay, we're back. So now, same thing as before, but this time we're gonna listen to this on bass. So again, your job in the video is to look at the two blue tracks. The first one has the Revive audio modification. The second one is the stock unit. And we're gonna switch back and forth. So now how do we have the compressor set up this time?
Exactly the same as I did on the kick drum. It's 4-to-1. We're back to hard knee, so the over easy button is out, and we're hitting it about halfway up the LED stack. So it's compressing hard, okay?
Okay, compressing hard, and again, everything is flat on the board. There's no EQ, there's no bus compression, there's no nothing. It's just the audio from the track here through the SSL, through the DBX 160 and back in. So keep your eye on the solo button. We're gonna start with the modded unit. Here we go. You go first.
The Revive mod has a lot more mid push to it, a lot more overall body to it. The stock unit in this comparison is a little bit wimpier.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, definitely a little wimpier than the Revive is.
Yep, so yeah, I'm hearing that there's more round bottom on the Revive audio. On the stock unit, it seems a little thinner. Just to make it simple, the Revive audio to me sounds thicker. The stock unit sounds a little thinner. That's, that's kind of what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
We've got the same amount of compression. Say everything's about the same.
Switch into soft knee.
Well, let's hold it. Let's do one more time. So here, we're gonna do this again. So we won't touch anything on the compressor. You guys listen again. Let us know what you think. Here we go. We'll start off with the Revive. Keep your eye on the solo.
Yeah, the Revive just has a lot more body to it than the stock unit.
Yeah, just a lot fuller sounding. I mean, the stock unit sounds okay. And again, you can EQ and stuff, but we're just listening straight. What's the compressor sound like? On this one, I think there's way more of a difference than what we heard on the kick drum.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Okay, so now go ahead and do your over easy thing. Now that was, you had it on hard knee right then, right?
Yeah, so
now
the
we're gonna go to the
over-easy's
softer
active.
knee. And again, this should be, the over easy circuits are completely different in these two units because one of the modifications is the way they did to the over easy circuit. So,
so
here we
again,
go.
keep your eye on the yellow LEDs now, so that when it's in yellow to red, it's like two-stage compressing it.
Got it. Here we go. Keep your eye on the solo button.
Tonally, the tonal differences are exactly the same. Of course, it's not as punchy now with the soft knee as it was with the hard knee, but tonally it's the same. The Revive is definitely fuller bodied.
Well, yeah, a little more round, a little bit more oomph, a little bit more thick.
Yeah, we need to turn the compression level down a little bit now, because that was a lot in the red when we were doing it.
Okay, so now we're going to adjust it. He's going to keep the over easy circuit engaged, but he's going to now do a little less compression, right?
Yep, yeah. We're going to turn the compression down. Okay, let's try it and see. I'm going to probably twiddle it a little bit first.
Yeah, twiddle a little bit. I'll let it pass a few times. Okay, so he's going to twiddle it. You'll see him twiddling it on the screen. We're going to go back and forth. He's going to try to get it to where they're reacting the same. Here we go.
It's
just more full, right?
Yeah, it's way more full. You know, I mean, that was spending a lot more time in the yellow that time, and it didn't really have any effect on the overall sound of it.
Right. So there's bass, right? So any more settings we need to do, or not really?
No, not really. There's not a lot to do with it.
So what we're hearing, I think we kind of agree on this one, that there is a bigger difference between those two units on this particular element. And the Revive audio seems a little bit more full and a little bit more thick and in your face. And then the other one seems a little bit thinner. You could almost say, well, it almost appears that it could be a little louder, the Revive audio, but it's not. It's level matched. It's just it's the tonal shift is the difference here.
Yeah, you're getting a lot more low end out of it, so it's gonna come out a little louder.
Right.
You know.
So again, let us know what you think. Keep score at home. Again, magic of television. We're going to take a break, then we're going to come back and we're going to finally listen to this on an acoustic, strum heavily acoustic guitar and see how these compressors react. We'll see you guys in a few. Okay, we're back. So, acoustic guitar. Same test. We have purple tracks here is what you're going to keep your eye on. We have the first one here, Revive Audio Mod, and then the second one here is the DBX stock. How do we have this set up, Dave?
Same again, 4-to-1. The over easy is out, so it's hard knee, and we're compressing pretty hard again, because this is a very dynamic track, so you're going to be seeing the LEDs go blank a lot on this one.
Okay, so we're hard knee on this one. We level matched everything. Let's see what they sound like. You let us know below in the comments which one you like better. We're going to start with the Revive Audio.
We're back to that, 1176D versus A comparison again, where the Revive has a lot more open top end. The stock unit is a little bit more darker. I'm not really catching the transients on either one as strongly as I expected to, but they're definitely different. They both sound good.
Oh yeah, they both sound good. Yeah, I think the Revive Audio again sounds more full. Like the bass, it just seems like it has a lot more of that low mid thing, 200, 250-ish, somewhere in there. It feels like it's a little bit more full. The other stock unit seems a little bit more thin. Don't mean that in a bad way, it just means that's the difference I hear. So what do you guys hear? Let's listen to it again. Let's start with the Revive Audio and then we'll go over to the stock unit. Here we go.
reacting very differently to each other right now.
Yeah, so they just sound a little different. I just think the Revive audio is a little bit more full sounding to me. That's really about it. And I know that we bumped the fader, so we level matched it again quickly. So now, where are we on? We're on hard knee or soft knee right now?
That's hard knee right now.
Okay,
I'm
so
going to
let's go
swap to soft knee.
We're just going to leave everything the same, soft knee. But how much compression were we doing? We hit it pretty good?
It was bouncing all over the place. I mean, at times it was only a couple lights lit up, and then at other times it was going halfway across.
Yeah, because of the way the play, yeah, the way it's being played.
It's a very bouncy track, so right. the compressors are bouncing all over the place with it. I'm trying to get them matched as close as I can. It's tricky on this one.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to start off with the Revive audio, and then we're going to switch over. Keep your eye on the solo button.
The differences are a lot closer on soft knee than they were on hard knee. You are right though. The Revive mod definitely has more body overall, but on the soft knee setting, which is where I would probably run this one, the differences are definitely a lot closer. The stock unit on this one sounds a lot better than it did on hard knee.
Yeah, so on hard knee, there's definitely a bigger difference between the two. A soft knee, a little bit closer, I would agree. I still feel like the Revive audio is a little bit more full sounding, but it is much closer in the soft knee position, and we're hitting it pretty good with what you said.
Yeah, they're bouncing all over the place.
Okay, you know, for the last test here, let's do that happy accident. Let's not compress it at all. Let's make sure there's no compression on the LED side. We're not hitting any. We just want to hear, like we did with the bass, when you just run the signal through it, do we hear any difference? I don't know. Let's try that. And
What's the unit actually?
So we're going to start on the Revive audio, and then we're going to go over to the stock again, and we're no compression at all.
Correct.
We're just running the audio through it. So here we go. Yeah, so I don't really hear any difference there at all.
No, they're very close.
But it's a great track to use because it is so incredibly dynamic.
Yeah.
So it is really cool. You get lots of points in that audio where you could just see it even looking at the screen. You could see where the spikes are in the, you know, as he's really digging in there. Yeah. So that's really good, but I don't really hear any difference there. Like we did on the bass, it seemed like on the bass section, just running audio through it, you went, wow, one sounded way more thicker than the other, but not so much here. Not so much here.
It definitely seems like the two units are reacting differently based upon, you know, the actual source material. If there's a lot of low end in it, the units are a lot further apart, and you once you go up to the mids and the highs, they get a lot closer.
Yeah, and again, not to speak, well, obviously there's two different sets of components in these units. That's the whole point of this test. So they're going to react differently based on the components that were used in the mod. And again, I don't know from the stock unit, you know, it's with all the stock units that are out there in the used market, you know, depending on what year that one was made versus if you bought another stock unit on Reverb, when that was made, are the components any different? They could be, I don't know. Yeah. Depending on how far, you know what I mean? They could be some different components. But so overall, just to kind of put a bow on this video, what do you think? What do you think now that we listened to it on 3 different sources? What's your conclusion?
Well, one of the reasons that I was interested in this one is because I do have a stock DBX, and I was wondering if I should send it into them to be modded. And I'm leaning towards no. I'm not hearing like enough of a difference between the two of them to warrant doubling the price of that compressor, because just to send this in, to have it modded to match yours exactly would cost about $350. So I would be doubling the price of my compressor. And I'm not hearing enough of a difference to warrant spending that money on it. If I had bought the Revive unit for $600, I would have definitely thought it was worth the money, but I would end up paying $700 for it by the time all was said and done, plus shipping. So
oh yeah, because you bought you paid $350 for yours, and then it would be, if you could, because that's the other thing you can do. And again, go check their website for current information, but you could buy a unit, or if you have a unit already, you can send it to them and they'll mod it for you. But then it's a little bit more costly because you got to pay the shipping, and then their mods are more. Where if you bought it completely modded on Reverb already, like I did, it was $599 with free shipping. So you save a little bit of money. So if you're in the market for a DBX 160A, and if this test made you believe that you like the Revive audio, you'd save a little bit of money just buying it already completely modded.
Yeah, it would depending on what your original price was for the compressor. I mean, they are out there for cheaper than $350, but they're also not in nearly as good condition. So I mean, like I went for one that was in really good shape rather than worrying about the price necessarily. And like I said, it'd be like to send it to them. It's, I believe, $220 as of this time. It's $220 for the basic mods. It's $35 for the VCA mod, and then it's $100 for the Cinemag transformer. So you're looking at $350 to do the modifications. I paid $350 for it, so now I'm $700 in plus the shipping. So you know, by the time all said and done, it'll be like $750. And you know that there's definitely a difference between them. But to me, not enough of a difference to warrant me putting that money into it at this point.
No, so but here's another option, again, for people keeping score at home. If you wanted to get a second one and get one, so you have a stereo pair, you could say, well, I have a stock one, maybe you buy a modded one, and then you have that 2 different flavors. Because like we heard on the kick drum, there wasn't much of a difference, but when you got to the bass guitar,
there's a huge difference.
So maybe that's another option. If you didn't want to, you don't have to have an exact match pair. You can have a couple of DBX 160s that are a couple different flavors. Yeah. And that's, I mean, similar to what we learned in the 76 video a few weeks back, right?
Yeah, it's a matter of what flavor are you looking for out of it, or you can EQ into it to get, to get it to react the same. Yep. So I mean, like it appears to me that Revive Audio does do very good work, but for what I'm looking for from that compressor, I'm getting what I want out of the stock unit.
There you go. So he gets out of the stock unit. So also, if you buy a modded unit as well, one of the advantages, if you want to look at it that way, is you are getting a unit now that's been thoroughly gone through, because all these DBX 160s are used on the market. So they could be several years old. So now you're getting a unit that's been tested, gone through, upgraded with components. So it's almost like buying a brand new unit. Yeah. In a way.
Well, remanufactured, yeah.
Yeah, that's a better word, remanufactured. So that's our little test. I mean, it's interesting. I don't think, we've seen anybody do this particular test before, so it was really cool to see this. We're curious to know what you guys think below. Which one did you like? Did you like Revive Audio, or did you like the stock unit? Or do you think the Revive Audio modification is worth the extra few $100s that you would pay for it to have a 160 modified? We'd be interested to know what you guys think below. Let us know in the comments. Let us know if there's any other types of tests and gear and shootouts and things you guys like to see. We might be able to make that happen. We have a couple other ideas up our sleeve. So until make sure again, you like, share, subscribe. And until the next video, I've been Dave and he's been Dave. Mixing Music Analog and mixingmusicanalog.com. Thanks so very much for watching, everyone, and we will see you soon. Peace. Take care.